So you got coffee, you watched the game, and you said the game went to plan. Where I'm getting a little confused.
Sorry, I don't know if it went to plans right. It just went as expected.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's a better way of saying it.
Wait,
Well, okay, go ahead.
what does that mean?
It means like I envisioned something like this happening.
Fair.
First opening game of the season against Man City, with every circumstantial thing that's been going on with us. It wasn't like surprising. Like I didn't really flinch when the goals went in.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Bro, I
I'm at
don't
that
know.
point.
I don't know if being this numb on game week 1 is healthy. Like
Yeah.
we might need to take a break.
No, I definitely am not like I was definitely more negative on iMessage, like reacting live to what was happening. But with
You
these tickets,
for context, you celebrated the goals City scored.
I
Like
was just trying to get some engagement. Don't worry.
my Peacock stream was a little behind, and I saw Forrest type in all caps, "Get in!" And I was like, "Oh my god, Chelsea equalized!" And then it was 2-0. So okay,
Yeah, my mental was at a different place during the match. That's why I realized I got to take like a walk after, collect my
yeah,
thoughts.
dude, you gotta. I don't know. You gotta take
Should
the
we
take.
talk through it though? Should we start with that match?
Let's
Yeah,
do
I'll
it.
be honest. I didn't really catch the first half. Your boy
Mm.
was totally incapacitated, but second half we were tuned in. I think two things really shocked me from that game.
Go for it.
First, in the second half, was how much space City gave you in the midfield. I feel like every time I saw Caicedo receive the ball, Enzo receive the ball, anyone near half, they had genuinely like 10 to 15 seconds to do whatever the hell they wanted. And City almost like kind of let you do whatever in midfield,
Mm-hmm.
expecting you to mess it up. And then they like bolstered their defense a bit more. They sat way deeper than I expected. I think the second thing I am not shocked by, but like this is where I think me and you are going to disagree a bit. I think I take it that you don't really jive well with this coach's style. I think what held you back today was a lot of your players just don't have. I don't know if it's the individual quality, the focus, the determination, whatever it is. I see these professional players consistently making like really weird mistakes. And the reason I don't think it's a quality issue is because those same players will then do something that like really impresses me. Like for that second goal, right?
Yeah.
Your entire back line for the second half at least really impressed me. Bar
Mm-hmm.
Cucurella for that one goal that was ruled a foul. I was like genuinely impressed by Fofana.
I
I
was
was
too. I was too.
I was impressed by Colwell. They like dealt with Doku, who looked really exciting, and it was calm. But
Mm-hmm.
the way they just kind of let Kovacic do whatever the hell they wanted, the tackle by Caicedo was bad. But like, it can't be that a guy gets past one midfielder and now he gets all the time and space in the world to get a shot off. That
Yeah.
was disappointing.
On that, I'm willing to give a bit of benefit of the doubt in just terms of fatigue. Like I think a
Yeah.
lot of these guys have been kind of not getting the full preseason that they should have because so many players are trying to get in that rotation.
Mm-hmm.
So what was that? It was like the 85th minute. At that point, everyone on the field just looked gassed. It was like a weird amalgamation of bench players that I don't really like and like the same guys that have been playing. I had already like I didn't see really any hopes of us getting one back at that point. So when that went in, of course, it was someone that used to play for us, but I didn't really. Yeah, like it was just like something I thought anyone was going to score at that point. Yeah, when he threw the hands up,
Bro, it's
that was
been years.
something.
You can celebrate now. Uh,
But
but
you weren't hopeful throughout the whole game when it was 1-0. I feel like there was a lot of
No,
chances.
okay. Yeah, again, I was pretty negative on iMessage, but I wasn't necessarily like out of it. Like watching us, I definitely saw some good moments, but it was just this feeling of like you guys remember when Graham Potter was in charge, it was more like, oh, we have like 60% possession and oh, we have all this XG, but there was never like goals. We never
Mm-hmm.
scored.
Mm-hmm.
It
Mhm.
felt like we would get into these dangerous positions and just not have it to get to the next spot,
Mm-hmm.
which is kind of like the opposite of last year. Like Pochettino didn't really do this whole build up structure, all
Mm-hmm.
this hands on stuff, but we would get into goal scoring positions and we would score.
Hmm.
So it's like I was just like I wasn't impressed, man. I really was not impressed with what this manager had for us today. It felt very. If you guys were watching City in the first half, they were not even out of second gear.
Yeah.
It felt like preseason for them. Like they're just
Hmm.
moving the ball.
I don't
Our
think
guys were
all
just
game even they got out of second
yeah.
gear.
That's a completely fair thing to say. And like our guys were like still learning. I think still figuring out where they're supposed to be, what they're supposed to do, and it was like that really like first game of the season vibes. Like really wasn't.
I think where I'm definitely gonna disagree with you is I don't think it is remotely excusable. Like I get fatigue is a thing, but
Yeah,
if you're 1-0 down only at
yeah,
home to such a good team at home, I don't think it's forgivable or understandable to not go if it's the 92nd 93rd, right? Like there's not really much hope left. You have a solid 10 minutes to turn this game around and you're not giving 100% effort. Like I think look, the structure of play is going to take a while for Maresca to implement, but you had a
yeah,
whole preseason to get these guys fit. It's not like your back line was getting crazy minutes at these summer tournaments. They
yeah.
had like in that regard, there's no excuse. I think.
And I
Um,
wasn't I wasn't necessarily that I don't know impressed with the substitutes either. Like
really,
Dewsbury Hall
I thought
and
Neto looked good.
oh
I thought
sorry okay Neto did look good and there was a 5 minute spell where it seemed like everything was running through Neto, but
it was.
Gooey I don't know how to say his name
Hmm.
and Dewsbury Hall just seemed such like squad filler. Like they
Hmm.
came on and like, we lost like any impotence of attack. They were just like to see
Yeah,
this game off. They're just runners, dude. And I was like, because I didn't really also mesh with how Nkunku was kind of playing off the left when I
Yeah.
feel like he's
Why?
better in the middle. It
That
was it
that
was a lot of trial and error. Sorry, go ahead.
I think that part is a big mistake by this coach.
Hmm.
Like you know how Jackson plays, and his best spells came from like even though he was playing striker last season,
Yeah,
like when
off
he was
wide.
in the out wide positions, he was making a lot of impact. And
Yeah,
Nkunku can actually finish and has like the feet to work inside the box. I think he just needs to be center focal point, and then Jackson needs to feed him as much as he can.
and this is going to be a problem we're going to see a lot now when he's trying to get all these guys to play,
Yeah.
trying to get all these guys minutes. Like we had Jackson, Palmer, and Kunku front three, and then there was also Neto waiting. There was
Hmm.
Madueke waiting.
Right.
There's João Felix waiting. Apparently, I don't know how these guys are going to play in the positions they want to and like be successful when there's always someone waiting who could be better here, could be better there.
I think
well,
It's such a problem.
I think like he has to. I know he can't. And with the captaincy today on Enzo, he kind
Oh,
of
we can
like
talk. We can spend a lot of time on Enzo today, dude.
stamped that. But I think Palmer needs to fill that 10 position. You have
Hmm.
two Caicedo and Lavia, and then you wing it up with Madueke, Jackson slash Nkuku. That's your best team, bro.
Palmer too, dude. I've been yelling this all off season. Like when Palmer and this coach and Palmer is not going to
No,
work
no.
as well as it did with Poch.
well,
And I get, yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna take the anti. So I understand if I understand your argument correctly. It's like
Mm,
this role player Palmer isn't gonna be as effective as like free reign, do
Mhm.
whatever the hell you want
yeah.
Palmer offense. I think actually to get better as a team, that transition needed to happen one day anyway. Like uh, literally last year, you were no different than a championship team that not a championship team, like a bottom half team that has one star player and lets everything go through him. It was like
Hmm.
Zaha, Crystal Palace. It was Ivan Tony, Brentford. Like just give him the ball and pray something happens, right? I think if you want to make this establishment as like a perennial top four team again, you're gonna
Hmm.
need to have structure. And I think the test for Palmer is gonna be like, hey, can you be effective if you don't have the ball for 70% of the game? Can you be effective in
And
bursts?
that's a great point because last season he really did not take part in much defensive stuff. Like
Yeah,
Poch really just let him stay up, and that gave him more volume in chances. Now, like today, I could tell again he only played 45 minutes in preseason. He joined late.
yeah.
Like I could tell he was a bit leggy, and him tracking back and having to cover also took away from a lot of the stuff he would do further down the
All
pitch. But
right.
that's a great point. Like he needs to do both sides if they
Yeah,
want
you
to
got
work as a
it's an
team.
evolution of his game. I think it's pain. It's gonna be painful. He's definitely probably not gonna be as successful as he was last year, numbers
Yeah,
wise. But if it's for the team getting better, I think it needs to happen.
And these
But
teams, they have the scouting report on him now. They know what he likes to do. It's going to be a big like this is like the make or break season. Is he going to be a consistent guy or is this just
he is, bro. Like even today, like every action he takes
Yeah.
has so much
yeah
quality. Like
yeah
it's like he's one of the few players on your team when he gets the ball, I can pretty much feel safe that nothing bad is going to happen. I think
hmm
let's talk about like the antithesis of that in Caicedo, who's capable of amazing things. Like
breaking
I think
someone's leg?
for one of the like chances, he like played a perfect ball out wide. Like he has all the ability in the world. I just think his decision making isn't anywhere
hmm
close to being like good enough. I also think he's very like he plays the game with a lot of energy and a
He's
lot of like
reckless. He's reckless.
yeah, and it's very rash, dude. Like,
Yeah.
but it also works both ways, right? Like, I think what you're referencing is like his tendency to go into these tackles like very recklessly. I think for me, like his rashness shows in that challenge leading up to Kovacic's goal. It was like,
hmm
oh, this tackle, it's not really feeling good for me. I'm not even going to put 100%. He's like a very
hmm
emotional player. Like, I think any other day, Caicedo can win that tackle. It's just like something in his head was like, oh no, this one doesn't feel that great. I'm going to pull out.
I think big picture, I don't know if this is a hot take or overreaction. It might be. I don't know if that three can work. Enzo, Caicedo, and Lavia. I don't know
Yeah.
where
Lavia
the
looked good. I
Lavia
don't know.
looked good, but he played a very safe role today, like a six that he kind of just moved the ball along. It didn't really play anything in behind. He kind of let Enzo do that, but I didn't see any goals in that
Mm-hmm.
midfield. Like I don't feel like there's a threat like that. I know he's trying to make Enzo like this 10-second striker. I don't like that. But when he plays deeper, he's too slow. It doesn't work. So now we're
I
getting to the question
also,
of what can he do?
Mm.
yeah, I don't think he's capable of being this creative midfielder. Like I was every time but the ball got to Enzo in that second half, he played the safest option. I think
Yeah.
the most ambitious ball I don't want to say capable of because I've seen
hmm
him do crazy things for Argentina. He's definitely capable of being creative, but the most ambitious thing I've seen him do consistently is like a switch or like
Yeah.
like a very safe ball out wide. I I think Palmer, to Nibs's point, is a much better creative player. I understand his preference is to be outright, but I can't see how he'd be worse than Enzo in that creative role. But it also does mean you would have a very, very expensive midfielder not playing at all
Yeah.
times.
At this
That's
point, I
that's
don't think you should care about that.
But
And
I think they do.
you, you
but
gotta realize, dude, like I'm pretty sure the directors are making the shots here. They're calling who's playing. Like
playing,
I don't know
oh
if you saw the whole Sterling thing that happened before the
That
game.
was crazy. And the
Like,
statement is crazier. Like,
yeah. Like they're just telling him, like the director's like, yo, we're trying to get rid of this guy on low wages, and then the manager has to come out and say, like, oh, it's just a tactical decision. It's not, dude. I know Maresco would have liked to have Sterling out there making runs in behind.
yeah.
Despite what you feel about Sterling, like he would have gave us something today, and now
Mhm.
he's just going to be phased out, like a lot of these other Gallagher, Chilwell, Chaloba, those guys.
was
Sad to see.
Gallagher not even the squad today?
Mm-mm.
Oh wow, that's right.
I mean, let's touch on your predicted flop of the season, Drewsbury Hall, bro. There was a moment on the left wing where he was doing like some back and forth with Neto, and Neto like laid the ball off to him like, "Hey, bro, you put this cross in," and he just refused, bro. Like
Yeah.
I've never seen a player. Given it's his debut, right? Maybe he wanted to play it safe, but I've never seen a player like play so defiantly safe. Like,
Dude, that's just his ceiling. I don't know what they saw in him other than just, oh, we'll just get this guy add to the squad if we get rid of Gallagher. Like that guy should not be playing in meaningful games. That
yeah.
I feel that way. I don't know. I care. I know it's one game. It's Man City. There's loads of games to actually see what these guys can do and what it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
But
But
like, I
you
feel
know,
confident in being able to see what I know and not know just off of one game. I don't know.
encouragingly, I think all it would take to fix the situation is I think you have all the pieces. I think it's figuring out where to put them and figuring out how to get them locked in enough to not make these stupid mistakes and
Yeah.
obviously way easier said than done. But I don't think you're as far off as you think you are.
Yeah, I think like Chelsea's gonna be okay. Like I had the same feeling last season as well. Like seeing them play, they were like little things off of performing well or having things go their way. And I felt the same this game. I mean, we'll see in the couple games, but like I think you guys are gonna be okay. I mean, I hope like your coach like gets into the groove of things much quicker than Poch did, but
Yeah.
that'd be depending on what's
Yeah,
going.
this
And I
is
think
crazy, dude. Back in the day, like early days when we were losing, it was just jokes and ripping on us. Now it's like getting the pity side of it is that's a bad sign, bro. That's
I don't think
embarrassing,
it's the
bro.
pity side, honestly, bro. Like I was looking, like there's like patterns there. Like you guys almost had a lot of chances. Obviously, City's not in their A game right now, but we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
yeah. And
It's
speaking
just a
on
tough
City,
tough opener. Tough
Yeah,
opener.
tough opener.
City, even though they didn't look crazy amazing, they looked sound. And I want to highlight Doku, bro. Like he's the most anti-Pep player ever.
Hmm.
But like Caicedo, if he can just figure out that final action, which I will say he's improved on since last year, I think his trajectory went like no clue what in the hell to do once he gets to where he wants to go to now where he does like a predetermined action, like whether the cutback is there or not. I think somebody said to him, just cut it back, and that's all he does now. And I think the next step is going to be like situational awareness, and
Him and Savio Savinho look pretty good. They
Yeah,
look decent.
yeah,
They took their man on every time. They got past him like 3 out of 4 times.
the midfield. I think a better team today
Yeah.
could have got something. That midfield was very
It was weird, like
it was
Rico
weird.
Lewis inverting,
Rico
Kovacic
Lewis is a
holding.
good player. It's just like the structure was like I don't know if that was intentional, but like I don't know. If we had our midfield out there today, it could have gotten crazy. But what's it called? Other games we should probably talk about.
Yeah.
United beat. I forgot who they beat. Who they beat?
Fulham.
Fulham.
well,
Yeah. Late Xerxes goal. Shout out Xerxes. Very Havertz esque player. I don't know. Somebody tweeted it's the same Manchester United home game we've been seeing for the past 18 months. They play kind of weird, kind of good for 75 minutes, get a goal in the last 15, and everything is fine.
mhm.
I honestly think it could and should have been more comfortable. But I don't know. Like, I still feel very sound in my prediction that they're not going to do too hot this season just because I didn't see a crazy marked difference. I think
Yeah,
individually,
Nibs, we gotta back our fifth
No,
prediction up, dude.
that's in there, bro. I'm telling you, like these are the wins I was banking on for them to get top five.
that's true.
Like this is what Man United is capable of. Like they don't play well, but their pure aura just takes them over the line and makes something happen. Their defense looked okay, I
Yeah,
think, and the Rashford looked a little fresh than last season. I would say, but I don't know. The Bruno missed hella chances. Like this
I
could have
know.
been like really good for them, but like he
The
you know
Garnacho miss.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
There was a
Yeah,
lot.
I think there's potential
I was
there.
impressed by Mazraoui. He looks
Oh
solid
yeah,
Probably
on the
looked
right.
good. Yeah, I don't, they'll be good. They'll be good. But I don't know if they'll be great. Um, the
But yeah,
other
I just
games.
for
Oh,
Ten Hag, I just wanted to add, like, I think he is much closer to some of the other managers, like a Poch, than he is to like maybe these more tactical guys. Like, I
hmm
just think like, a lot of people are like, "Oh, where are the patterns of play?" But like, they just have like a lot of good players, like forwards, that just make things happen.
yeah,
And you see, like, Fulham were getting their own chances too, but they had a lot of guys struggling in the final third. So it's a weird, like, I don't really know what kind of coach Ten Hag is. I can't lie.
he is a Manchester United DNA coach. You play
Yeah.
counter attacking football, and you pray your attacking players make something happen. I don't see anything coached out there.
yeah. I think like he relies on Bruno a lot. Like that's like the middle piece. Like I feel like if Bruno gets a huge injury, that team will go into shambles because.
But genuinely though, like for like all the nostalgia merchants,
Mhm.
United is your team. they're playing mid 2000s 2010s football.
Exactly. They have that like, oh, like boot it forward, take all the chances you can. There's
Yeah.
never like side
I
passing.
enjoy
They're
that
taking their
football,
chance.
dude.
I
I
do
like
too,
direct football. I like
for
direct
sure.
football.
They're not out here recycling the ball. They're
Yeah.
not out here doing like these stupid highlights. Like they're playing
Like
classic.
I would love to see like a Xerxes Hoyland like 2-man like right
Yeah,
back
even
there.
bro,
Yeah.
even their recruitment, bro. They got pacey wingers, big tall strikers,
Yeah.
Portuguese
Oh man,
midfielder that can pass. It's
Casemiro
Yeah.
playing like 2014 Real Madrid. I was like,
yeah.
Occasionally he was.
Center backs with like zero technical gift, just big
right.
and burly. They got Johnny Evans play. He's literally from
I
2000.
can't believe Johnny Evans came on, dude. When that happened, I was like, damn. I literally did not say this was gonna happen.
But yeah, I don't know. Fulham also were terrible, so I can't really use that as a good barometer.
Mm.
Liverpool also got their campaign underway. 2-0 win, easy. Salah looking good. Receding hairline and all of that, still looking good.
Man, Trent's passes.
Trent.
Man, this guy is something that we've never seen before. Like
They got to get his ass to Madrid immediately. Dude.
immediately, bro.
There's still a couple days, sort it out, bro. But I don't know.
That was a good game. I don't know if
Yeah,
you
I
guys
like that
caught
game.
some of the like stuff they did in the second half was good.
I think it was important for them to like start confidently because otherwise like it like breeds these narratives that could like create a problem that wasn't ever there. Like
Yeah.
Slot could have always just been a fantastic coach. If you don't win that first game, people start like
Yeah.
chatting. You know what I mean? So dispelled that quick and
And
early.
he had a good post match quote too. I think
What
he
did
was
he
like
say?
they were just asking about like tactics and stuff and how he brought on Konate for Kwanzaa like at halftime, and he was like, "Look, no talk of tactics matters if we don't win our duels." Like I just brought on Konate so he would win the aerial duels because Kwanzaa was getting beat in the air, I guess. And he's like, after that, we just controlled the game.
I'm not
So
gonna
we don't
lie,
lose.
I was like pretty convinced by Ipswich though. Like
No,
they're
no,
Yeah, they
they
held
look
it down for
yeah.
70
they
minutes,
got
bro.
some players in there. They're just like pure like footballing players. Like they just be running, good technical abilities. Right?
Yeah, like Delap and Omari looked like a nice like 1-2 punch. Like
Yeah, they
So these
did.
guys haven't released a third kit yet.
No, they haven't.
what are we looking at, Liverpool?
I was drawing some attention to the fixtures. I think the big game for Schlott, where everyone's gonna clock what he's about, is this one,
United, yeah.
Old Trafford, in I think 2 weeks' time.
Bro, it's like Ajax versus Feyenoord basically.
Yeah, bro. Dude, can we talk? United are employing 5 former Ajax players, and none of the good ones. Like, like they didn't get Kudus, they didn't get De Jong. There's like
There's just so many Dutch people in that facility. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
yeah. I mean, but I don't think running back Ajax is the worst strategy in the world. That like Ajax team that Ten Hag had his like prime under was different gravy, bro. Like big fan
Yeah.
of whatever they had going on. All right, other stuff. Let's see. Brighton won their game convincingly.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to talk about Brighton, to be honest. Villa beat West Ham 2-1. I actually, funny story. I when I went to take my real estate exam, the test proctor was this old British man, and he was a West Ham fan, and he was like, "Man, y'all jinxed it. Y'all why we lost." It was a late win for Villa. I think they got it like what 75th.
Yeah.
I honestly consider that late in this day and age. I feel like teams have gotten so adept defensively, where like if it's tied and they want a tie at 70 minutes, they're more capable of getting it done than before.
Mhm.
We play them next, and I think if we are doing predictions, I would want us to predict that game. I think it's the biggest probably matchup next week. I don't know. Like, let's also draw some attention. Let's talk about us while we do this too, right? We won our game against Wolves, pretty routine. Saka looked good. Everybody looked good, to be honest. But this is our next 4. We play Villa, then we play Brighton, then we play
Jeez, what the
Spurs,
heck?
and then we play City. Back-to-back away games too.
Mm.
And a lot of
I
people
did
are,
not catch this before that you had this insane run.
yeah. I think a lot of people are like scared about it. I prefer this to playing them in December when half our squad is injured and there's Champions League games midweek.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think we have a week between each game. We have an international break between this one. Like, it's not the worst thing in the world. And I also think this is the first time in like 8 years where we're playing Spurs away before we play them at home. And I
yeah.
Mhm.
think
Mm.
psychologically that's big because like regardless of how bad Spurs are, that away trip is always like this thing that looms over us. Same thing for Etihad. I think the last like 4 years running, we've played them home first,
Mm.
away second. And it's again like this thing that looms over their head. This time the pressure is like reverse. Obviously, it could all mean nothing if we go like 0 for 4 or 1 for 4 in these next 4 games, but definitely something to watch out. What do you guys think is going to happen with that Villa game? Any early predictions?
Hmm.
I think. I mean, I watched the Villa game against West Ham. I don't think they're up to pace yet. I think
Mm.
we're more with it than they are right now. So I'm happy we're playing them early. Um, I just feel. I mean, Unai Emery always. I feel like has something for us, and I'm not gonna lie. I'm scared, but like I feel like we'll get it over the line. Havertz looked really good. Saka looks
Yeah,
like a whole new player, man. Like
bro. He came
He
back
looks
locked
refreshed.
in, bro.
like
Like
some of those feet work. His touch still needs to get better, and also his diving capabilities needs to go up. I really feel like he did the same mistake as Bayern last season, like the way he
he's the
fell.
only player capable of diving after the foul was won
Yeah,
to ruin the foul.
to ruin
Like
the foul,
he gets fouled, gets up, and
and then
then falls.
falls.
Brother, you were all you had to do was nothing. You already fell. Like
That's
organically, you
funny.
fell. But yeah, to Nib's point, bro, I haven't seen him look so agile in a minute. I think it was down to just straight up tiredness, and I love the fact that he was the one that came off for
Yeah,
Trossard. He put Martinelli on the right, kept Trossard on the left. Like there's some awareness finally. Like
yeah,
there's these little stubborn things in Arteta's habits
yeah,
that like needed to change, and they're finally happening. The Zinchenko sub was refreshing.
yeah.
Um, Other
I,
stubborn things that need to change probably is Party playing the entire time. I don't think there's
yeah.
any need for that.
Honestly,
Uh,
we don't have a good replacement. And also, I mean, for him, I would say at least put Declan in the sixth role.
yeah, yeah,
Do
and then,
that at the end of the game, please. Also, another thing I want to point out, like I feel like the whole of last season, from what I saw today, the last this game, Ben White played with the injury the last season, bro. This game, he
yeah.
looked like he was running, like outpacing people that I've never seen him outpace. Like he was
Mhm.
passing really well. He was really with it. Like I feel like he needed a little bit of break, which he thankfully got.
Yeah,
And I think we're gonna see even a better version of Ben White this season.
yeah, and I also think another really encouraging sign for me, the left hand side looked alive. Like a lot was
Hmm.
happening down the left. It wasn't resulting in goals. I think Martinelli still needs to just like kind of brush up on his final action, get back to where he was 2 seasons ago. But like the feet were there,
Hmm.
the interplay was there. Um, I even want to say like Zinchenko played well offensively. Um, Last year, I want to say the first like 15 games, bro, nothing happened on the left hand side, like zero. Timber when he came on looked sharp too. I think that'll improve things a lot. I think the
Did
ultimate plan
California come on?
No.
he did not,
Okay.
and I don't think he will for like August September. To be honest, I think
That tough stretch, yeah.
yeah, like there's a lot to learn
Hmm.
for this system for our defenders specifically. I think I listened to Arteta's pre-match press conference, and they like asked him like, "What's the plan?" And Arteta said something like really refreshing. You guys know like my not mantra, but like the thing I always say is like, dude, injuries are 100% part of the game. When they happen, you can't be like, oh, we are so unlucky because an injury happened.
Hmm.
Arteta was like, we were the luckiest team in the world. The fact that Ben White, Saliba, and Gabriel were able to play virtually every game last season.
Mm.
He said, I don't expect that to ever happen again.
Mm.
And for that reason, Calafiori is here. And to kind of help the chances that that can happen, we're going to be able to rotate with him. So
Mm.
I don't think we're going to see many fixtures where like Ben White, Saliba, Gabriel, and Calafiori play, or Calafiori, Timber, Saliba, and Ben White. Like
Right.
it'll be either the left back or Gabriel getting rest so that he can play. And I think he's okay with that role, and I'm glad he's okay with the role. I think the tricky part in finding someone to like cover is someone that's good enough that can also take like the ego hit to not be a starting player. And I think like underrated aspect of us coming up short 2 years in a row, like if there has been one byproduct, even if not winning a trophy, it's that like our like status has grown to where I think players of quality are more okay with riding bench than they would have been,
Mm.
if we hadn't, shown what we're capable of. That being
So
said,
it's a long season, dude. I feel
Yeah.
like with you guys playing like 60, 70 games, probably,
Yeah.
like is you guys still got people coming in? Marino?
I think Marino just got signed actually. Well, like while we're recording,
No
some
shot.
medical is happening. I mean, it's not like a here we go, but like pretty reliable person said it's reps and that medical, and he's coming. I think he's gonna be. He's not like a sexy player. Like it's not gonna be like a big name, but like we genuinely just need competent bodies.
Yeah.
Like as crazy as it sounds, like a player like Drewsbury Hall would do us good. You know what I mean? Like someone that can just come on at the
I
end
know
of
what
the
you
game.
mean, yeah.
Yeah. Like, and I think Marino is like even beyond that. I'm not saying he's like Drewsbury Hall. The guy won a Euros, good player, physical player.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be good.
And coming into an already established basically everything, it must be so easy for these guys to get up to speed quick,
Yeah.
you know? I
And
think
I
they'll do
think
good.
when we target players now, there's more intention behind it. And that I think like when we were first coming up, I don't want to say these words because we haven't done it yet, but like when we were first like building this team, it was a case of like, hey, I need a player that can do this, and also have this, and like personality, whatever. Now we're at a point like, hey, I need a player. Our gaps are this and this. Can you do that and that exceptionally? If you can, come here, right? Um, so hopefully, like he is like a luxury player for us that can make things happen. I'm very hopeful. Like the first game gave me everything I needed to see. And like to come back to like Havertz, bro, like again, a lot of the same problems as last season. Like the shot is not 100% convincing. Like every action is not 100% there. But the thing I think, like let's compare it to another player we talked about where like every action is not 100% there. Caicedo, right? Like even though every action isn't perfect, the ideas are. Like the decision making from Havertz is 100% there, and I think that's all he needs to do and stay consistent on because
If he
situations
if
like
he turns into this goal hanging like box threat, I'll be so amazed. Like it's
oh,
crazy that's like his evolution has gotten here to like a target man 9. Like it's
and
crazy.
the number one thing he's improved upon, and he's like extremely dependable on that now. If he gets the ball in the final third, he's not gonna lose it. He's gonna try something, and if he loses it doing that, sure. But like, there was a lot of situations last season the ball got to him, he'd freeze up, and we'd lose the
Yeah.
ball. Right? Like that's not happening anymore. There's a plan, and he's linking up nice with Odegaard. Things are going good. I'm hyped, man.
I'm just sad he got choked.
Oh, dude, are
Bro,
we gonna talk about the
what's that guy's
sexual
name?
assault?
Bro, that guy was on something. I
Mascara?
think he took some drugs before he started
Bro, he
playing.
took like a fucking blue chew or something, man. Like,
He took
'cause
that gas station pill, bro.
yeah,
He
on a
was on
honey pack.
something.
I like because I've never seen a player get away with something like that twice. Look, I understand we can't be giving red cards out for people that
Grabbing
did
butt.
something
Feeling you up.
corny. Yeah, because like, look, it's happened before. Like there's all those like funny YouTube compilations, like people like poking people's butts or
Yeah.
like giving them a kiss, right? We can't give red cards for being suspect, but what we can 100% do is give a red card for choking out a dude while and pushing him to the ground first. The fact that didn't even receive. I understand. Okay, maybe ref didn't see it, so I didn't get a yellow. That is when you escalate, bro. Like I was in disbelief.
The
Yeah,
ref probably
man.
had no idea what he was looking at, dude. He was like, "How do I deal with this?"
Yeah, I don't want to do it. Literally, he kind of looked away. I was like, bro, like when somebody's like his argument, I think to the ref was, oh, I was trying to get a hold of some balance, and your neck was the closest thing, so I just went
Yeah.
in, bro. It flex it, let it go. He was extended the whole time,
Yeah, rigid
like
as
on
a-
his spring. And I was like,
It's
damn, bro.
ridiculous.
Dude,
And
the whole summer has been Arsenal players are like super handsome and attractive, and this is the negative of that, dude. These guys are starting to wake up.
that's funny.
Yo, that interview with Mikel Arteta and the interview asking question, I thought somebody dubbed it and made it up. And I did dead ass. And I was like, because he would cut off right before Arteta responded. And I actually had the full extended version. I'm like, no shot, somebody actually said that to him, bro.
And
Bro.
what did Arteta even respond to that?
He said, like, oh, it's not in my hands that the beauty is there, like something like that.
Bro,
Oh my god.
Mascara was the interviewer. I'm convinced. He was doing interview gigs on the side. Him and that dude think the same way.
Newcastle,
But
let's talk a little bit of Newcastle.
yeah, another weird refereeing decision that
Yeah,
I think Newcastle still won though, right?
Yeah,
So
they did.
they did. I wouldn't say it was a weird refereeing decision. It was just like the rule itself is pretty dumb. Like you could get like beat up, but then the second you do a headbutt, it's like you get the red. You know, that itself needs to be changed.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
wild.
Bring back headbutts,
Yeah.
man.
Oh yeah, sure.
Game is gone. Yeah, I didn't watch the game to be honest. I wanted Isak to get a goal just for fantasy purposes, but
Yeah.
it was
I
a
watched-
good 3 points.
Yeah.
Did you guys watch?
I watched a little bit. Yeah, I wanted to see my boys Lewis Hall and Livramento.
Let's see if there's any games coming up. Ooh, September 1st. September 1st is gonna be a good weekend. That'll be a good game, I think. But I don't know. Southampton's not really the hardest team in the world to beat,
Yeah.
so can't get too excited. I do want to point out, like, look, we're not going to complain about referee decisions because we won, but they dropped that new like VAR explanations account, and neither of the contentious decisions in the Arsenal game were even talked about.
Yeah.
It's like you had an entire month to figure out all these things. Not a month, an entire summer, and you couldn't do it. I don't know if you guys saw, but there was also a plan by Howard Webb for every referee to come out and declare their like loyalties. So like any teams you've been affiliated in the past, who do you support?
No
like
way.
they wanted that to come
Howard
out.
Webb was in charge of that.
Yeah, and they announced that it was going to happen at the beginning of the summer, and then the day it was supposed to happen, they came back and said, "No, we're actually not going to do this." And it's like, bro, like the competency in the FA, the referees association, it's just like 0. The word of advice to myself first and foremost, and anyone else watching is like, expect nothing, and you will never be disappointed. Like I've come to stop expecting a penalty, a red card, and life is a little bit better. Anything else before we close?
Don't
Any
know,
other
man.
fun
Yo,
bit?
Brighton's 30-year-old coach beat the brakes off of Everton, dude. Made
Yeah,
me feel very
future is
sad.
now, old man.
And
Future
I had a little bit of hope increase for title winning chances for Arsenal when our Pep said today, I don't feel the same spark as I did.
I actually felt worse.
He's luring you in,
He's
bro. That's
luring
a bait
us.
and hook, dude.
I actually feel worse because he was like, "We don't lock in till May." And I was like, okay, before we go, quick prediction for the Leicester Spurs game. I'm going Spurs win.
Yeah.
3-0.
Spurs win.
I'll say
Score.
1-0.
I'll say 2-1.
2-1.
I'm not sold on Spurs' defense.
Yeah.
Still. Not the individual players, just how they're coached.
Wait,
Like,
you're not sold on the D Forest?
I'm not sold on not Ange's D, bro.
Oh man, damn it. Okay, Nibs, you didn't give a prediction.
1-0, 1-0.
Okay, and then Villa Arsenal. I'm going 2-0 Arsenal. I'm going confident.
I think
It's at Villa.
1-0.
I don't think it'd be. I wouldn't be offended at someone predicting a loss here for us.
I'll throw a draw here. I'll throw a 1-1 draw.
Fair. That's very. They beat us twice last
Yeah.
season. If anything, we are the underdogs in this game. So we'll see what
Are
happens.
you gonna ask about Chelsea playing Servette on Thursday in Conference League qualification?
God
Wait,
damn.
You're
This
in the
Thursday?
qualifiers?
I guess, yeah. We're playing on Thursday against a Swiss team named
That's
Servette.
not real. Servette.
It's one of two legs, by the way.
Servette.
I can't.
Did I spell that right?
Honestly, bro, you have the
Yeah.
players to utilize. So go ahead, use these games up.
Okay, let's get a geographic. Holy no badge. Okay,
Whoa,
no,
we're
they have a
cooked.
badge.
We're
have a
cooked. 7-1, yo.
They scored 7 on them.
Yo, you know what's
Bro.
hilarious? Google ain't even bothered to record the scorers.
Wait, they got a star, dude. What is the star for?
I don't
Yeah.
know.
What league are they? What?
Super,
Bro, that's
which
Procter and
super-
Gamble. This is a company, bro. That ain't no club. Hold on, let's see where they're at. Oh, that's a good. Oh, this is like in
Damn.
those like
Wow.
TikTok where it's like, what pitch would you play on? Yeah, no, this is a real club.
That's what I was saying, bro. Season actually starts on Thursday.
Yeah, that's right.
Let's go tell the Conference League, bro. We're not here to joke around, bro.
Yeah, they got a women's team, but this is a real team. You got Champions League? What? Yo, this is a real club, bro. There she go. All right. Thanks for watching. That was episode 37. We will see you next week. Monday.
Peace.
Goodbye. Bye-bye.